You want to learn how to close a pillow properly? Stay tuned. There are a lot of different ways how to close a pillow. You'll see a lot of them with zippers in them, which is fine. And then you'll see some where the seamstress has turned their salvage under and then just top stitched it across the bottom there, and you can see that stitching. And that's a good way to close them, but it's not really the best looking way to do that. So what I'm going to show you is how to take a pillow, and I'm going to show you the proper needle and the proper thread, and also how you're supposed to get this ready to even start sewing. I start with a board, 2 3-inch upholstery pins, and a hammer. I take one upholstery pin and stick it in the corner. I put it to the board and I push the pillow down to the board, and I set the pin at an angle and tap it in. I take the other pin and stick it in its corner. I stretch the pillow to a good firm snugness, stick the pin down to the wood, lean it back, and tap it in. It's always best to have a pre-stitched line just below where you're going to sew. Okay, what I have here is a 3-inch round point curve needle. This is the needle that I prefer when I hand stitch pillows closed, and I can use this needle for a lot of other applications, like, you know, sewing down bands or sewing down a lot of areas on a chair where you have to do fold unders and pulls, and then you can lock them down with a needle like this and some thread. The thread I'm using is called hand stitching thread. It's not the stuff that you have at your house for the little, you know, the little fine threads. This is a more robust thread, and you typically want to use a color as close as you can to the job you're working on. But my old saying is that the better you sew it, it don't matter. Now I've got 2 of these cushions that I'm going to sew up, so I'm going to get off enough line for 2 of them here. Okay, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to tie a triple knot. There, now I've got a bulky little knot there. 2 always seems to just pull through by the size of the needle, so always do 3. And then you're going to trim off the tag. Next, we're going to thread our needle. Wow, that went too easy. Now you can just pinch in your thing and then push that down, and that's how I do it a lot of times, but that seemed to go in there pretty easy this time. All right, so now I've got my thread, and I've got a little bit hanging out here so I don't pull it through. I've got my little knot on the end. Okay, what you're seeing here is, again, is a sew line that's below the 1/2 inch area, and we're going to sew just above this. It's best if you use, you know, a guide, sew guide here, that, or you can just keep rolling and guessing your 1/2 inch and go with that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come, and I can see the line in which I'm going to sew here. I'm going to start by getting my needle as close to the end of where the machine stitching is as possible. You want to get your stitches as straight up and down as possible and try to keep them no more than 1/4 inch in length. All right, you can see I'm getting near the end here, and I've got about a little over 1 inch left here to sew. And what I want to do, this is a pattern and it's got different colors going on in it. What I want to do is find, I've got this thread, so I want to find a spot about anywhere from a 1/2 inch on past the area here, and 1 inch or on better, and pick a dark spot or an area that would look fine with this thread to have a tie off. And I'm going to pick kind of in this area here, just kind of and you can do all the way to corners if you want, but you can, right here is sufficient for this area, and that's where I'm going to go to, and I'll show what that looks like. To recap, to get this to be as clean looking as you can get it, the keys are using usually around a 3-inch curve needle. You need a curve needle. you need a decent thread, which a hand stitching thread is proper for these type of applications. You need to stretch both, you know, stretch it out and get it so that it's perfectly, when you go back and forth up and down and you want to go no more than 1/4 of an inch and you want them to be straight up and down all the way across there, and you'll get it a nice smooth where you can't hardly tell this thing was hand stitched. So next time you're sewing up a pillow, there's you a solution to how to get it to look the best it can look. If you enjoy these videos, hit that like button, show a little love. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. And don't forget the notification bell so that you can catch future videos. Thank you. If you enjoy these videos,
You enjoy these ramen noodles? Put hot sauce in it.